Okay. It's a bit laggy. Welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad. I'm having a play with green screening today, but I don't like it. It's a bit laggy. I need to sort this out. So let's just get rid of that. That's a bit better. Okay, so today we have Emily, aka Slightly Crazy Vegan. She's also a lover of nudism, being nude in public. Well, not in public, in obviously authorized areas, because Nikki Riverine, what are you saying? Oh my God. Yes, I'm naked. Well, she's a vegan nudist. Why would I not be? Are all my moderators naked as well? Because we all agreed that we'd all go naked for the vegan nudist. Yeah. So Emily, she's a vegan nudist. Let's just flip over to her Instagram and have a look here. Ballsy Vegan. So please do go over to her Instagram. It is Slightly Crazy Vegan, not Slightly. She's missed the L out for some reason. I don't know why she's done that. Maybe there's someone very similar. But there is some of nudist exploits there, as you can see. So let's find out why this. Oh, a bit of ass. Let's find out why this Slightly Crazy Vegan is going around start naked. Let's bring her on.
Hi.
Hey, Emily.
Yeah.
You clothed?
Yeah. You don't want to get your live stream shut down, do ya?
Shit.
Ooh, creepy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I can't see any of the chats in like the thing that I've got.
Right. Why can you should be able to click on comments if you look top right.
Private chat and then comment. Oh, here we go.
Have you got them? Have you got them?
Vegan King. Hi. Oh, I know you guys. Nikki,
okay.
I don't know that person, but hello. Sean.
Are you taking over my show?
Oh, I'm just saying hello to people. Wow, you put your clothes on.
I've put my clothes on, yeah. Can all the moderators put the clothes on now, please? Apparently. It's all in a bit of fun, isn't it? And who wouldn't want to see my body? Let's have a quick hello to everybody, of course. Sean Forrest, hello. I'm Easy Vegan, hello. Me, hello. Vegan Realist Jamie, hello there. Vegan King, hello there in India. Vegan Programmer, hello Carl. Nikki Riverine, hello there. Pie is irrational, it certainly is. Hello there. Icky Kenny 92, these sound like Emily's. They come over from Emily's. I've not seen you before, but welcome. Everybody's welcome here. Race Lever, hello. Satan Inside, hello everybody. Yeah, Danny's OnlyFans. Right. Slightly Crazy Vegan, hello, how are you? You look beautiful today.
Thank you. Well, I should say tonight because it's midnight for me.
I'm really sorry about keeping you up from your beauty sleep.
That's okay. I was up after midnight and I was just like, I can't sleep because my mind just was too active, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And you won't turn into a pumpkin or a mouse or anything after. Well, you already have. There's one behind you there, a little pumpkin peeping over.
I know. This is the one that I made in the video.
So if anybody doesn't know, I'm just going to share the screen again. This is Slightly Crazy Vegans YouTube channel. Please go over and subscribe. She's just done a zombie video, and she's going to be doing a lot more of those with a little bit of a story, a little bit of a laugh and a joke. So nothing too serious, but gets the point across, and that's what I love. That's what I love. So yeah. Oh, she's disappeared. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on here?
Spooky.
Have you not paid the electricity bill again? Oh my word. So as you can see, Slightly Crazy Vegan turns into a pumpkin after midnight. Hello there, Mr. Pumpkin. So tell us, Mr. Pumpkin, are you vegan? And what do you say to other vegetables and root vegetables that aren't vegan? You've got to do a voice for the pumpkin now.
I say, eat me. I'm better. I taste way better.
Yes, I mean, your name fits the bill perfectly. Slightly Crazy Vegan. I wouldn't say slightly. I'd say totally crazy vegan, to be honest with you. Totally crazy.
Actually.
Yeah?
You want to know? Hang on, I'll just turn on all the lights again.
It would help, because people do tend to like to see the piece we're talking to.
I can't find the thing. Ugh. Okay.
I'm sorry about this, folks. This is what happens when you interview people who are sort of quite unstable.
There
we are.
There we go.
Right, we can see you now. Great pumpkin carving, by the way. What have you done with the insides? Have you cooked them up?
Yeah, I did. I put it in the fridge. I don't know if it's good or not. I've never actually eaten this type of pumpkin before, because this is a special carving pumpkin.
Yeah, but they're still edible. But I mean, I've tried doing something with pumpkins, but it's just not for me. I don't know.
I'm gonna make pumpkin muffins next on my next video.
Ooh, now that sounds interesting. Pumpkin muffins, and you'll use the flesh from the inside, then I assume, because I didn't know you can actually eat the seeds. And I tried it, and oh no, never again. Oh, Nicky Rivernee's saying a tart, make a pumpkin tart. Or you can make soup.
I love pumpkin soup.
Where's spherage come from? What are you doing with spherage?
Spherage, yeah. Oh, technically this is Primal Edge Health. Did you watch my last video? The one before that, it was the mummy one.
Do you know, I think I'd started watching it, then I had to drive my wagon. I did start watching, because as soon as you mentioned Primal Edge Health, I thought, yeah, someone's ripping his back out. I need to watch this.
Oh, yeah. The thing is that because I got this human meat platter, like this plastic human meat platter. I've been like, oh my God, I can just use that whole joke over and over for like different anti-vegans, you know. So the first one I did was Frank Tufano, couldn't help myself. The second one was Primal Edge Health. This one that you just saw was Spherage. And the next one is going to be Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah, he styles his hair like mine. Do you know that? It's all the rage at the moment. Did you see Tofu Tommy's latest video?
You got rid of the green screen background.
Yeah, because it was lagging, and I didn't. Let me try it again. But I'm.
That's fast. Where is my boy Frankie? Did you make a bone broth with his skeleton? Yeah, I did actually. Using Frank Tufano's recipe, I made a bone broth out of his own bones. It was amazing. He's a good cook.
Bone broth, that is like the epitome of like anti-vegan nonsense. Bone broth is good for you, really. I remember actually when I used to eat meat, and when I was young, and I remember scooping marrow out of bones and eating it. And I'm thinking, wow, did I really used to do that? Scooping marrow out. Am I lagging? Can anybody see?
Yeah, like you eat the bone marrow?
Yeah. Can anybody tell me if I'm lagging or not on screen? Anti-vegan nonsense. So, Emily.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. I mean, you're in Australia. Which part of Australia are you in?
Sydney.
Sydney. Where's that on the
New
map?
South Wales.
Right. So is it towards the bottom or the top? Sorry, I'm just a little bit.
It's okay. So like it's
yes,
in
I'm
the
lagging.
middle, on the side.
Right. Okay. And it's beautifully hot there at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, it's really nice here at the moment. The nights are a little cold, but the days are like pretty warm. Like I remember, like it's only spring, and I feel like some days feel like summer. It's going to be really hot. Like I've heard that there's going to be fires again.
Oh, fuck, we don't need that. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I think we're trying to prevent it by doing like a lot of not backburning, by doing a lot of pre-burning.
Yeah, because it's all about because when these fires take hold, they create their own wind, don't they? And actually just shoot across. It actually heats up the air that much that it jumps. So what I think they burn breaks in the forest, don't they? Are you okay? Are you typing?
Yeah, I'm just trying to write to my best friend and tell her like to jump on here. But yeah, no, so with the fires, they were really, really bad the beginning of this year because it wasn't because they didn't do backburning. So a lot of people said that they didn't do backburning. The thing is that for starters, backburning is actually when you have an existing fire and you make a fire in a circle so it comes back on itself so it doesn't spread. That's back burning. It burns it back to itself. But hazard reduction burning is actually what they're referring to. And the fire and the politicians like to say that because they're climate denials almost. They're climate change deniers. But basically, they said like the firefighters said that they couldn't do hazard reduction burning during winter because of the temperature, like because it was too windy or because there wasn't a very big window for them to do it. So they didn't get as much done. And that was the reason why is because it was due to climate change. So like it's just crazy. And then there's a few different theories, but a lot of people said that you couldn't predict the fires because you couldn't predict the fire. You couldn't reduce the fires because of how crazy the weather has been.
Yeah. I mean, while I was in Turkey a couple of years ago, I was watching on TV as the moors, which are behind me, up on the tops, the Yorkshire moors, were alight. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, am I going to come home to like a pile of ashes? And the thing about the moors is that underneath it's peat, and peat is a fuel, a really long, slow burning fuel. So the whole moors went down, but that is due to crazy temperatures again, and the odd idiot sparking fires here and there, because that seems to happen a lot as well. A lot
of people who don't believe in climate change, they're like, oh no, people are just lighting the fires. And I'm like, why this year? But the thing is that if you look at the overall fires, okay, the government like to focus on who's lighting the fires so that it could change the fact that it was actually to do with how, fossil fuels and all those stuff as like affecting, the weather. But basically, it was like, I think I read it was about 1 or 2% of the fires that we experienced at the beginning of this year were actually started by someone. The rest was started by lightning.
This could be a really dumb thing to say. Never mind. This is what we're all about. Any questions? It doesn't matter how dumb. If you think they're dumb, ask questions, guys. We don't give a fuck on this channel. I don't know, but if so much rainforest was burned last year, doesn't it decrease the risk of the same thing happening somewhat?
Well, we still have, like, even though we burnt a lot, it's still, it's not, yeah, like, our trees grow back really quickly.
They do. It promotes growth.
Yeah, it does. It gets rid of all the waste, and it does that. So it would, so yeah, it was just burning again. The problem with the fires, okay, wasn't the fact that it can't like grow back. It's more the fact that it killed heaps of wildlife, and we don't have many koalas left because, you know, actually I've been reading into this. Like at the beginning of this year, I was actually reading into it. The reason why, the first reason that caused a decrease in koalas was that when the settlers came here to Australia, they used koalas as fur. So they actually killed a lot of koalas for fur. And then they realized, oh shit, we're not going to have any left if we keep going. So then the government put a ban saying, okay, you can't kill them for fur and you can't kill them. Right. So now they're under protective species. But then, of course, the fact that we've been tearing down a lot of their gum trees, they only eat gum leaves. And so, you know, they don't have a lot of climate, they don't have a lot of habitat to live in. So that decreases, you know, and roads and getting run over and all that stuff. And then the fires. The thing is that a lot of people were saying that the koalas were really dumb because they don't run away from the fires. They actually just go higher up the tree. But the thing is that most bushfires, okay, they don't go to the tops of the tree. Like the fire doesn't get to the top of the trees. So the koalas can actually climb to the top of the tree and then the fires go underneath them. So it's just like a wave, like when you go over the top of the wave.
You see, the thing is, Emily, right, is koalas have been around for quite a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Right? So they're still here.
Stupid. And the thing is that they're like kind of like projecting because it's like, well, I think you're the stupid one. But what I'm trying to say is these bushfires, the reason why they got burnt was because of how out of control they were. They were so massive that they actually came above the trees and killed a lot of the koalas. They killed a lot of the koalas because the koalas went up to the tops of the trees, and then the fire was so large that it came to the tops of the trees and killed them as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot can be attributed towards, I mean, there's a lot of unusual things happening in the world because of global warming. Extra big tides, and
before the climate change started, we were already in a decline for koalas. Like you look back on history, we're already they're already protected species for a really long time, and that was the fur industry. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I read into. So,
I mean, well, you look at America with the buffaloes, where it shows pictures of them in the 1800s on piles of like buffalo bones, and it's just like the way we rip through wildlife when we sort of went into new countries is just absolutely unreal. And Australia is such, I mean, they brought in a lot of predators to Australia as well that don't belong there, and a lot of pests, and that's the thing about it. So tell us a little about your vegan journey, Emily.
My vegan journey?
Journey?
Yeah,
I want to know your journey. I want to know.
Everybody his journey, I think John Venus.
Well, okay. Tell me what snapped you into veganism and think, right.
Oh my God. Okay. So basically, it's hard to say because I had multiple different things that actually made me decide to go vegan. I'm a very open-minded person, and and I just thought to myself, I just had different, I guess, seeds planted. And I thought about it and I was like, it seems like something I could try or whatever. And then I asked this guy who was vegan, what should I watch? Because I hate reading.
Yeah, I
So
hate
was
reading.
like, what should I watch? I don't hate reading, but like if I had to read heaps, I wouldn't do it. So I was like, what should I watch to get like me to help me stop eating meat? And he was like, Earthlings, Cowspiracy, and Forks Over Knives, because all those other newest ones, they're new. So I've been vegan for 3.5 years. So 3.5 years ago, or a little bit longer than 3.5 years, I watched these documentaries and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go vegan. But I'll tell you what. So first of all, I transitioned slowly.
How old are you now, Emily? How old are you now?
I'm 32.
32. So you was late 20s when you decided, when you sort of hit. Yeah.
And then so basically I was talking to I just assumed that you had to transition to a vegan diet over time. And so I kind of just did that. And then I knew because I've done things in the past where, if people are kind of against what you do, it makes it really hard to stick to it. So the best thing to do is to have a community. So I already knew that beforehand, but a lot of vegans don't. And I think that's, I'm going to make a video about it, but that's the number one thing that you need to, do is to have community. So one of the first things I did was actually make vegan friends online, and then I met up with them and we cooked together and we went to restaurants and stuff, and they taught me everything. And then and that really set me up. But I really feel like once I was vegan, because I did it as a New Year's resolution kind of thing. So I don't really feel like I was actually truly vegan until 3 months. Like being vegan 3 months, I think like I'm gonna make a joke like video about this, but like vegan initiation. Like you're not, when you go vegan, you're not really vegan for like a while. Like it's not until you get like your lifestyle completely changes and like everybody knows, like all your family and friends know that you're vegan and they know to cater for you, and you've experienced some hate and you've experienced what it's like to be vegan from other people, and you're still going to stick with it. So yeah, because a lot of people have like, peer pressure, and I felt the peer pressure really bad. It's funny because a lot of people have the opposite effect where they're like, oh, vegans are so militant, which is like another way of saying I felt peer pressure from a vegan. But it's just because it's only like it's the minority. It's not peer pressure. It's just you're being like aggressive or whatever. But it's like, yeah, no, I didn't experience any negativity from vegans. It wasn't until I was a vegan that I experienced negativity from meat eaters. So I was like, to be honest, I don't like militant meat eaters. So yeah.
You see, the thing is as well is once it's like when your parents, when you bring a girl home or you bring a guy home that they don't like, and they do everything they can to break you up, you dig your heels in more. You just dig your heels in more. So as soon as you start getting pressure from meat eaters, you just tend to dig in more. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yes, sometimes. Like obviously, there's a lot of people who do leave for peer pressure reasons, and that's the number. Actually, I was reading that's the number one reason that people leave veganism. It has nothing to do with health. Has nothing to do with changing their mind. It's just peer pressure. They just don't want to have that, like they don't want to be different, or they don't want to be attacked all the time, which is understandable because it's like being discriminated against.
but the thing, but I struggle with that because I mean, I get it if you're a teen, right?
Yeah.
When you're a teen, you're mixed up with hormones. You want to fit in.
Parents make the decisions for you.
Unless you're really, really strong-willed, which a lot of teenagers aren't, you're going to bend to peer pressure. It's like my son. I've talked about my son a lot, and he won't even watch anything with me because he knows he doesn't want to get converted. So he won't. He just categorically. He's 19 this year now.
oh, well, like, you know, he should get over it soon, because it's like, hello, you left school. You don't have that school pressure now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, what was I going to say? I forgot my train of thought.
Sorry.
My friend
see if this kicks it in.
Yeah.
You was talking about peer pressure and getting attacked and meat eaters coming at you.
So I will tell you that for me, when I like got attacked, okay, like I said, I already had a community behind me. I already had like learned a lot of stuff behind me. I had people to bitch to. Basically, like, I mean, especially being a woman, need someone to bitch to. And the thing is that your friends, like, if you bitch to your friends, they just don't get it. Like, if they're not vegan, they don't get it on the same level. Like, my best friend, she does, but she's like an exception. But a lot of people, like my friend Mitchell, like when I was telling him about some of my health problems, and he was like, oh, maybe you should, like, see, I would just go back to eating meat. And I was like, well, I can't because I'm vegan. And he was like, huh? And I was like, and I'm like, yeah, but you can fix it this other way. And he goes, oh, okay, that's all right then. I said, yeah, of course. But, and I was like, but that's the thing, like, you just don't get that. You just can't be like, oh, I'm just going to eat meat for a bit and then go back to being vegan. Like, you don't go back to being a vegan. It's a lifestyle. Like, it's a complete lifestyle decision. So it's really,
it's a philosophical viewpoint. It's like saying, I cannot be racist. I was racist in my teens, right? I were racist. Yeah, I was. I know it sounds surprising to you, but in the 70s, even some black friends of mine were racist against the Asian population. When we say Asians, we mean Pakistani, Bengali. That's what we mean by Asians. And they were coming over, taking our jobs. They were taking our houses, and this is what was drummed into us. So I was conditioned to be racist by my peers. But once I started thinking for myself, once I got to like 13, 14, 15 years old, I thought, this isn't right. This doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
So like I could not now go back to being racist because I understand why it's wrong and why we don't do that.
Yeah,
and so you can't possibly go back to eating meat because your philosophy says that you find this disgusting and wrong. Yeah. So how could you go back to it? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like, okay, so I will tell you, so because I already had friends I knew could back me up and I had their ideals in my head as well, whenever I talk to like, my co-workers or like friends and stuff or family, the thing is that me, like, if they were to peer pressure me, which I felt, if I was to go back to that, okay, that would mean that everything I said was wrong and everything that they said, which was ridiculous, was right. And that annoyed me. You know what I said? I said, you know what? This is in my first year, okay? I would never go back to eating meat if a vegan was a bitch to me, or I don't get peer pressured from vegans to stay vegan. I get peer pressured from meat eaters that makes me be like, well, I don't want to be wrong. So it was actually the meat eaters, their negativity, that kept me accountable, because like you said, I dug my heels in deeper. I was like, well, now I can't go back, you know. And also as well, like, meat eaters, like, one time I was at work, and this is like in the first year where I was like, oh, it's healthier, so I'm going to be healthy. Like, I'm not going to get sick as much and all this shit. And I'm like, oh. And
fatal.
And I was going to, because they were kind of like saying some stuff and I was really annoyed, and I've learned how to deal with it now. But at the time I'd never been like kind of like discriminated before, like in work. It was really bizarre. So I'm like, so I went to say, and luckily I didn't, but I went to say like, oh, well, you know, at least I won't get sick because I'm vegan. I'm on a plant-based diet. Like I won't get sick, unlike you people or something like that. I was going to say that. And I was like, no, I won't be rude. Luckily, because the following week, I got a really bad like virus. I came down with a really bad virus. And I remember thinking, like taking a couple of days off work and then going into work and thinking, thank God I didn't say that, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to take those days off, because they would have been like, oh, you don't get sick, huh?
Yeah, yes. But the thing is, though, I mean, we go on about diet and stuff like that, and that's the first thing we fall into, innit? This sort of because I'm cutting out meat, I am therefore now healthy, which isn't the case. It isn't the case. But yeah, I've sort of had one bout of illness in 4 years that I've been vegan. I thought I've been vegan 5 years, but I haven't. I've been vegan 4 years. I went through my Instagram. Instagram is so good for finding out shit about yourself. Yeah. And I actually went vegan in September 4 years ago. So I'm actually 4 years. I've been saying 5 years for the last year, but I'm not in 4 years. But I wish I was 5 years. I wish I was 6 years. But definitely not going to go back. I want to talk a little bit now about your
nudism.
No, I was going to say your makeup routine in the mornings, actually. Yes, your nudism, your nakedness.
Oh you know what my makeup routine is in the morning? Nothing. I don't anything on. I barely put lip gloss on these days.
Yeah, I just splash water on my face, because you can't improve perfection, can you? You know what I mean? It's just like, what are you laughing at? Right, so let's talk about this. I'm very sensitive, me, you know. I might look like a rough bastard, but I'm very sensitive, you know. I'm a bit of a snowflake, so, you know, watch what you're saying to me. But yeah, the nudism, when did that start? What age did that start, Emily?
So
what turned you onto it?
I became a nudist a year prior to turning vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So 4.5 years nudist, 3.5 years vegan. And the thing is that that's why whenever someone says, like, if anybody says anything about me being naked, like, not like the vegan community has been pretty good, but if they do happen to say anything about me being naked or whatever, to do with like animal rights and stuff, well, I'm just going to say, look, I was a nudist before I was vegan. So that's why with my thing, and they're like, what made you think of the nudist thing? I'm like, well, I was already a nudist before I was vegan. So
yeah. And why? Can I ask why? What sort of, you just sat there at home watching TV and then you thought, I want to go outside with no clothes on. What sort of?
Actually, okay, so what happened is I was when I left school, there was a lot of friends that I had that were like bitchy, and I just wanted to get away from them. And I only had a few friends. One was traveling the world. The other friend was like not independent. She lived close, but she wasn't, she didn't drive, and like neither did I back then. And I wanted to get away from my parents. So I moved to the Gold Coast. So I lived in Queensland for 3.5 years. And then finally I moved back. And that's when my friends started moving around like a couple of years later, I tried, like once I got back from the Gold Coast, I wanted to like make new friends, and I just couldn't. I make friends really easily, but I don't. But I couldn't keep them. Like I just couldn't keep them, and I didn't have a lot of money to do like a lot of activities all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it got really frustrating, and that's when my friends started traveling, and then I finally met up with a best friend, the one that's not very independent. Well, she's independent now, but back then she wasn't. And I was on the phone to her and I said, I really want to make a lot of friends. Like, I really want to make friends, you know, like good friends that I can keep seeing on a regular basis. And she said, oh yeah, I have so many friends. And I said, how do you do it? And she said, well, I'm into a lot of niche stuff. So like, she's into like dolls, and she's into like mermaids, and she's into like all this stuff. And she's like on all these Facebook groups, and she goes to like doll conventions and stuff and meets other people who have dolls, and they talk about dolls, and like it's just like, well, they became my friend because I just kept seeing them at the events and stuff, and I was like, I need that. I need to do that. And she's like, what's something that you're into that you wanna pursue? Something like a minority. And I was like, well, a little bit before that, I had met this guy on a bus, and he told me about this festival called Confest, where they can get naked and they don't do anything sexual. They just walk around naked and it's really natural. And I was like, that sounds really awesome. And I told her that. I said, that would be really cool. That always appealed to me because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered putting on clothes. But also, because when I was a teenager, I used to wear G-strings. I don't wear G-strings anymore. They're actually really annoying. But for some reason, when I was a teenager, I found them really comfortable. And I used to walk around. I used to come home and take my school uniform off, because it's really annoying. And here in Australia, every school you have to wear a school uniform. So I wasn't a part of a private school or anything. So I took my school uniform off, and I just couldn't be fucked putting clothes on, because they were all over my floor. I'm a mess, right? So I just and I found it very comfortable just walk around in my G-string. And my dad, if my dad or my brother walked past, I would just put my hands over my boobies. And my dad made up this thing called bare bottoms get smacked. But he never actually smacked my bottom, but he just made that up to try to fearmonger me into putting
some clothes on, yeah.
It never worked. He was like, Emily, put some clothes on. And I'd just be like, whatever. So I'd walk around the house with just a G-string. And then I'd be in my room most of the time like a teenager. But then I'd be like, oh, I need to get something to eat, or I need to go to the toilet. And I just walk around like this. And then so the idea of nudity to me has always been awesome.
Yeah,
so,
normality.
Yeah, my friend looked into it and she was like, oh, there's this Facebook group and there's this activity and this is event, blah, blah, blah. And she sent me all this stuff and I was like, cool. And I went to a few events and I made a few friends. And then when I made a few friends, because they were like, oh, cool, I've got someone to take with me. Not that you need someone to take with you, but you can take your friends to events. So then my friend said, oh, I'm going to Confest. And I was like, that was the festival that I heard about. So he took me to Confest and we stayed there and we shared a tent together and it was really awesome. We shared a tent together, we shared everything. And he and we carpooled to this event and I didn't even know about the event if it wasn't for him. So, and then I met more friends and then I bump into friends at nudist events and it's kind of like being vegan. So then a year later I became vegan and that was very similar. So that was really awesome. So instead of being having to call you or call some other people and say oh, you want to go to the beach today or you want to do something today, I just be like, oh, the vegan festival's on. I just go to the vegan festival and I might tell a few close friends, I'm vegan friends. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the vegan festival. You want to meet me there? And then I go there, but then I just bump into all these people that I know already. And then it's oh, cool, you're here. And then we hang out. And so I don't have to do that whole rigmarole of organizing an event, calling my friends up, seeing if they're available, seeing if they want to go. You just I'm going here. I'm as well, I'm pretty independent not because I am an independent person, but because I was forced to be, because I went on a holiday alone to Fiji and it seemed like the biggest mistake I'd ever made because I was so lonely. But it forced me to have to make friends very quickly. It forced me to do things on my own. And then I just thought, you know what? I don't need it made me make friends with strangers and be a lot more confident. But I learned over time, if I do something on my own, I'll actually have a following. Whereas if I try to follow other people, or if I try to get people to follow me and to do things that I want to do, it doesn't work out so well. So I always like, I just say like, this is what I'm going to do. And then like, I don't give a fuck if none of my friends want to do it. Like, I'm doing it. Like, I'll just do it on my own.
You know, and it does make sense, that as well. It does make sense. And independence and making friends is about, I mean, what you said about losing friends, you know, you make friends and lose friends, is because you don't attract people who are in your mindset.
Yeah.
And that's where friendships fail, is because you're not in the same mindset. And the best way to influence people is to be an inspiration to them. I mean, I understand what you're saying about the nudity. And the thing is about nudity is that, I mean, first of all, I want to say to you, right now, don't take this the wrong way, but you've got an average body. You're nothing spectacular, right? So you're such a great inspiration to normal women out there.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I'm not slagging you off at all. All bodies are beautiful, but you're an inspiration. And men have a lot of hang-ups about the size of certain things on the body. And
actually, I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, cut me off. Carry on. You carry on.
Okay, I was going to say that with the whole size thing, when I came out with a video on my channel about, because I had seen Frank Tufano's penis, because yeah. So basically, his chatterbait videos, they were never fully erect. But when he sent me the unsolicited dick pics to my Instagram, they were. So I've seen his full size, and Vegan Games has the OnlyFans. So I decided to make a video based on that.
I saw that.
Yeah. So basically, I had a few people that were a little bit annoyed, like saying about like, how can you compare sizes and stuff? And I was like, wait a minute. I should have made this more clear in my video. I did actually mention it, but I should have made it more clear. But Frank Tufano was the one who said, my dick is twice as big as Vegan Gains. And Vegan Gains has said in previous live streams, I have a way bigger dick than him. So they were already in a dick size competition, okay, on their own. I just decided, well, I have all the information, so I'm going to do a video on it.
Yeah.
But I don't think like, this guy's bigger, so they're better, or like, this guy has a thicker one, so it's better, or thin, like longest is better. Or I didn't say that. I was just like, they were having this whole, my dick is bigger than yours, and obviously a lot of people would have been watching and thinking, I wonder what the truth is. So I'm like, well, this is the truth. You guys kept saying it. I'm like, well, let's get a female perspective and have a look and see. And it turns out that I feel like neither was bigger in a way.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing about nudity. I mean, right, what I said about your body, you've got an average body, yeah? You've got people out there on Instagram who have got unreal bodies, right? They're super skinny bodybuilders who are super big because of steroids. You've got this really unsensical, not real image of what a real man is, what a real woman is. And when people see you in your nudist form, they can say, she's just like me. She's not super skinny. She's not super buff. She's just a normal person like me. And it's the same with guys as well. It's like, once you see other guys' willies in the showers, in the gyms or whatever, you start to realize, hold on a minute, we're all pretty much the same, really. There's only the extremes, that sort of, extra small or extra large, it's just, and when you go on holiday, when men go on holiday, and we see the top, we were constantly looking at boobs, man, right? There's no heterosexual, put them away. There's no heterosexual man who isn't sort of engaged with boobs straight away.
Even I like boobs.
Yeah, when they're covered, right? But once you get on holiday and you put your mirrored spectacles on, you're on the beach and you're like having your little spy at bare boobies. After a couple of days, they don't mean nothing to you. It's lost that element of sort of mystique. You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
Flavor said, mine is the biggest after you all put on the special, where does it say? Special glasses I made for just this occasion.
Where's this? Who's this?
It's in the comments. Race lever.
Race lever. Oh.
Mine is the biggest after you. And vegan programmer says, I have only ever seen my own, lol, but defo don't want to see anymore. Haha. Really? Oh my God, you've only seen your own penis?
Wow. Wow. Do you never go into the middle piston in the toilets and have a quick glance either side? What's up with you, vegan programmer? Get looking.
They tell the size, I mean, unless they're standing next to each other. What was she using as reference? Vegan gains is like 6.3. Well, I don't know. Like, honestly, yeah, you're kind of right. I don't really know. Like, it was really hard. Like, if you see my video, I was really struggling to compare, especially with different angles. But I looked at different angles that Frank had sent me because I got like 22 videos of his. And yeah, like, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But I definitely think that like Frank's is slightly longer and vegan gains is 100% thicker, like 100%.
You know, and it's just pathetic, really, because all this body hang-ups, and I mean, when it comes down to it, it's not relevant in life. You know, it's just no,
it's about how you feel about the person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, definitely, like 100%. It's, you know, for me, I'm like for me, I have to, like, I don't have to, but if I like someone, it feels 10 times, like sex feels 10 times better, just because I am really into them. You know, it doesn't matter, even their performance. Like, even if I remember, like, I really liked this guy, and he was really small and he was really shit in bed. And I just remember being really enjoying it. And then, because I did all the work, but I was really enjoying it, so I did all the work, you know. And I remember he actually broke up with me. Well, he like, we were just dating, but he ended it, and he was really mean. And I just remember thinking, well, to be fair, like, what am I really missing out on? He was really shit in bed anyway.
No holds barred at all here. So, I mean, nudism isn't for everybody. I mean, would I do it? I don't think it would bother me now. Maybe when I was a bit younger, I had more hang-ups. Maybe it would bother me. Would anybody else do it out there? Who else would do it?
Yeah, he would go nude.
Who would go nude? I'm actually going to stick.
Vegan sausages are 33% larger.
There's a link there to the chat. If anybody wants to come on with us and chat with us, there's a link there. Hit the link, come backstage, and I'll bring you on. Any questions? Start firing them in.
Cooked. Ha, nice one, anti-vegan nonsense.
Anti-vegan's nonsense is a bit cheeky. He's got a great channel.
No. I did in Spain. It felt amazing. Yeah, Europe is so much more like nudity stuff. I love it. I love it. I wanted to go to Europe this year, but then 2020. So hopefully I'll go next year. It just depends on when the borders open up. So really, it's crazy.
I mean, does it have to be warm for you? Is it because you've got a warm climate that helps it, or are you looking at the Wim Hof method when you come north?
Bohemian B makes a good point. So she said, absolutely. And you can hang a wet beach towel off a vegan one for at least an hour. I will tell you that, okay, I probably shouldn't say, but Frank Tufano in his videos, okay, some of his videos, he wasn't like, oh, hey, Michelle. He wasn't fully erect, and I think that like, and he's mentioned in his live streams that he has erectile dysfunction, like problems. He thinks it's because of the 5G, but it's like, yeah, we know it's because you've been consuming nothing but meat for the past fucking 6 years. You've got iron overload. Makes sense to have cholesterol. Like but that's the thing. Like, so many of my videos, I'm like, you know what? He wasn't fully like, he wasn't full. Like, yeah, definitely. And he's only like 29.
And you see the thing is as well. I see adverts on TV in the UK. Sorry, I see adverts. We block each other out when we both talking.
Erectile dysfunction at 29. Jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, I see it on the TV all the time. Erectile dysfunction tablets, cures. It's common amongst men. No, it's not common amongst men. It's not common amongst men. It's common amongst people who eat meat. Not common amongst men. That is bullshit.
Older men.
Well, supposedly, but
that's because it takes a while
for it to build up. Yeah, but
yeah, for sure.
But it's not looking that way at the moment because people now are eating more and more meat more often, and I think it's going to prevail earlier in life as well. We're going to see it in a lot younger men.
Another reason why, like, it's good to have a vegan boyfriend, because the thing is that it doesn't matter how big it is. If it's like a deflated balloon, it doesn't really matter, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You couldn't have said it any better. Couldn't have said it any better.
It's about how big your dick is, but seriously, like if it's like a balloon the next day after a party, you're in trouble.
If you cannot get it up, you cannot get it in. Never up, never in. A golf term that works when bed.
Nice.
Did you see that? Okay. So let's move on a little bit. What's the future looking like for you? So you've got your channel where you sort of, now I'm going to say sex sells. Okay, you've heard me say this before. We've talked about this. Sex sells. So all different vegans do different things. Your nudism draws people in. Maybe people who are interested in veganism but are interested in seeing a naked body. Does that affect any comments with your videos?
100%. Like, most of my comments are like, oh, I love you, I miss you, and I wanna be with you. Can you be my wife? And there's a lot of bots that put like sex stuff on my thing. I'm constantly hiding, like I'm constantly banning them. I've just started banning them, actually. I've just started like, oh, I can ban them, sweet. Yeah, so basically I have a lot of like, nope, again, older vegan men are like flipping 20 years in the bedroom ready to go. Well, okay, I'll take your word for it.
I'll tell you what, this fly has been bugging me for 3 days now, right? And although I'm vegan, fly, I will find you and I will kill you. Oh my God, I've opened windows, doors. He just keeps landing on my head and like.
That's why I love spiders.
I love spiders.
Oh yeah, like I have spiders all around my house and they're like, oh, you know, get rid of them. I'm like, why? You either have spiders or you have bugs. I choose
exactly.
spiders. Spiders don't annoy the fuck out of me.
Right? Brian Turner comments about increased libido and his girlfriend's response. It's in a video. Oh, might be worth a watch.
Is that Brian Turner? Is that a vegan or something? I don't know who that is.
Brian Turner, I think it's a vegan YouTuber. As someone who else hang-ups about their own body, I am in awe of slightly crazy vegan. Oh, thank you, Daniela. Daniela lost a lot of weight.
Oh, cool.
She's got her own channel now, UK Vegan Family. Please go over and subscribe. Cool. She's bringing her son up, Jack, vegan. She's doing a hell of a lot for vegan families in the same situation with the trouble with schools, and it's amazing. Are you looking to have kids in the future?
Yeah, I am. And that's why it's like, oh my God, I've been wanting to have kids since like I've known that I've wanted to have kids since I was 13. I've wanted to have kids.
You're saying kids as well, plural.
Yeah, I want 2.
What do you say to people who say having kids isn't vegan then? There's a lot of this going around at the moment.
No, it's not that it's not vegan, but that's something separate. It's like anti-natalist.
Antinatalism, yeah.
Like, I don't know, like for me, I've always wanted kids and I love babies so much. I used to work in childcare actually. So I love babies so much. And the idea of not having kids makes me really depressed.
Well, what do you say to why would you want to bring a child into this shit? Can I ask you that question? Why would you want to bring a child into this fucking bullshit fucking life?
Well, the same reason why I don't want to commit suicide, you know, there's amazing, it's your world, like the world is in your mind, like your world is your mindset. It's not like, it's just what you pay attention to and how you use it to your advantage. I feel like, yeah, it's a shit show, but I don't know, like, I just feel like, I guess maybe it would be a bit selfish, but like, I just feel like bringing kids in this world would be like, I just love kids so much. Like, it would just be amazing. I love babies. And yeah, like I've had dreams. I've actually had dreams where I've had a baby. And obviously like that just like, obviously dreams are like mean different things. So it doesn't mean that I want to have a baby, but like I've had dreams where I've had a baby and it's been really realistic. And then I've woken up and I'm really, really sad that it was just a dream.
Would you, let's say you fell in love, right? You can't help who you fall in love with, right?
I know.
So what if they were a meat eater? What if they wouldn't change? What if you had children? What if he or she wanted to say, I don't want to bring them up vegan? What would you do?
I know. It's done my head in. But I think in the end, it's better to not fight because then we just split and then they would just feed them whatever they wanted. But I think what I'd do, I've actually thought about it. So I would kind of feed. Yeah, I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
I'd feed them like vegan food. And then I'd say, okay, if you want to feed them meat, then you can, but I'm not cooking it. You can buy it, prepare it, whatever. Okay. And they'll eat whatever. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some really awesome vegan children's books and like a lot of shows and stuff. I've even thought about starting up my own vegan cartoon, like to put on YouTube to like, so that kids can watch vegan YouTube videos, like cartoons, and it teaches them about veganism. And like, I don't know if they have that already, but yeah, like I just look up anything that they had that was vegan and I would put that.
Well, I've only put this on, Emily, because Vegan King does vegan cartoons on Instagram.
Oh, really?
So maybe you should hook up with they sort of like anime, and he dubs into them.
Yeah.
He dubs in them. He's great. They're great. Maybe you should hook up with him and see what he can do for you.
I was thinking about doing a vegan channel, and then I was thinking, but I can't really associate my face on a children's show with my nudity and stuff. I just don't want them crossing over because one's age restricted and then the other one's kid restricted.
I know, isn't it crazy though? It's like fucking right. The human body is age restricted. Showing people where meat comes from is age restricted. These supposedly natural things are age restricted. It's like, McDonald's can put an advert on TV. KFC can put an advert on TV. McDonald's can say, here, come and eat our fucking murdering shit and we'll give you a toy for doing it.
Not just like
and here's the big clown.
Like high processed sugar as well. And also like little kids' toys to attract them. But anyway, as I was saying, well, with the kids stuff, they're not allowed to get ads now. So they're trying to cut down on that. Anyway, so I was talking to Yeah, I talked to Vegan King on Instagram, so we can talk about that later. Yeah, so I basically come up with like I teach my children about veganism.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd take them to sanctuaries, and I'd take them to like on walks and stuff, and like nature walks and stuff. I'm gonna be so adventurous. Actually, that would upset me more if he didn't allow me to take them like camping and shit. But basically, I'd teach them about like, oh, this is a spider, and we don't kill the spider because, you know, we don't want someone killing us. Like, you know, teach them that things, right? And then eventually they will then do their own advocacy. They can make their mind up, which I know they'll choose the right, you know, make the right choice. And the thing is, as well, with children, like, what was it? I knew this guy, and he was vegan, and he said that he grew up vegetarian. He said, but I ate meat. He said, my mum raised me vegetarian for 2 years or 3 years. And then, 2 years. And then his dad insisted that he eat meat for development. And so then he started eating meat again. But then he'd already learned like vegetarianism from his mother. So when he was like 4 or 5 years old, he said that he would cry himself to sleep and say, I don't want to eat animals. I don't want to eat animals, and just cry. And his dad felt really bad and said, okay, fine. You can go meat free for a little while. And then after a while of like, you know, knowing that he was doing fine and he remained healthy, he was like, okay, you can be vegetarian. So he actually made the decision when he was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I actually saw this video as well of this kid, and he was sitting there, and his parents played a joke on him. They said, oh, you're going to eat, we're not going to be vegan anymore. We're actually going to start eating meat again. And he was like, oh, and he was getting really annoyed, and he was only like under 5. And it was like, that's the thing. They're like, oh, you force your children to be vegan. I'm like, they make their decision pretty early on, you know?
Yeah. And I've always said, and I always say this, is that you're born vegan.
Yeah.
The minute you push I mean, I've got a son and he's 19 now. But I've only got one kid. I've got 2 stepkids, and I've got my son Tyler. But I only had Tyler in case I needed any organs if anything went wrong in the future life. He's just like an organ. That's the only reason I had kids. So joking. I love him.
I might play against you because it doesn't always work that way. But
yeah, no. But I wanted my son at age 25. I had him at 33, I think. But I wasn't even had a girlfriend at the time. Yeah. So
Michelle Lowe is still in the channel. If she's in the chat, I just want to say, your videos are getting better for starters. But also, I'm getting the shits with this whole porn thing with James Aspie. I made a video about James Aspie because there's a rumor that he's doing porn because he started his OnlyFans, but he's not actually doing porn. He's just like, it's just raised donations, and he shares like photos of him and his girlfriend, and the most intimate they get is like they're kissing or something like that. But you can't actually see anything. And I made a video on it, and I've been getting a lot of like, I am getting a little bit of like shit saying like, oh, porn is really bad for us. It like ruins lives and all this shit. And I'm just like, that's so fucking bullshit, but I don't have the knowledge. And I was thinking, Michelle Lowe, or if anybody can message her, okay, Michelle Lowe, can you please do a video in response to vegan, like, you know, because there's also Vegan Gains and Jasmine and a few vegan people that are doing OnlyFans that are actually doing porn. Okay, can you do like a thing on this subject with your psychology degree on how porn isn't bad for us, like how porn is actually serve society.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle, there's a link there if you want to hit it and come on. And
I don't know if she's on there. She would have said something by now.
She has been on. She's probably gone to another stream or whatever. But I mean, there's degrees of porn though, Emily, I think, and once you get to certain aspects of porn, not everything's sort of nice and tidy. You know, there's a lot of disgusting, really bad, violent acts. I know I'm going, but to new people,
in general. Okay.
Yeah. So general soft porn.
Semantics of porn, like saying, okay, is this too far? Because obviously there's like snuff porn and all this, like, and real like rape porn. And is illegal and stuff. So obviously there's a limit. But they're not arguing about how the limit is too far, like how it should be limited. They're saying that porn in general is bad. And the thing is that I don't have the knowledge, but I was watching this vegan YouTuber that sorry, not a vegan YouTuber. I was watching, I think it was SVU, and they're actually saying that porn like actually helps limit violent acts. Like, I'm pretty sure that is, but that's why I'd rather not say anything, because I'd rather ask Michelle to do it, because she's got the psychology degree, so she can do it. And I messaged her, but she hardly ever messages me back. Like, she never never reads her messages. It's like, isn't your phone glued to you?
She's using psychology on you. She's using the treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen psychology on you. That's what she's doing. But porn, I mean, she's there.
I'm here, but I've got Mia here, so I've got this stream on low volume.
All right.
Okay, well, Michelle, can you please do, with your psychology degree, can you please make a video on the responses to vegan games and James Bassby and all that, doing OnlyFans, and even though he's not doing porn, so mention that he's not doing porn, but can you do a stream on like how psychology is actually, like, porn is actually good for you? I don't use Facebook very often. Yeah. Okay, but seriously, like, make that YouTube video, because I will watch it and I will promote it. I will promote it on my page if you do it.
You see, the thing is, Emily, right?
Yeah.
Is a lot of people say, they pull me when I mention, I did a video on how our weakest point is the health side of veganism. And it falls down because there's so much misinformation out there. But I use common sense, and I look at the world. Now, pre-internet, we had porn mics, right? Okay, so, but now it's easily accessible. For the last 20, 30 years, porn has been so easily accessible, right? Yeah. Have we seen an increase in rapes and crazy kids running around committing indecent acts everywhere? No.
I know.
So, and back in the day, back in the 80s, when these violent video games started appearing, all the press and everything and media were saying, oh, we're going to have violent kids running around doing all axe murders. Have we seen a massive increase in violent crime? No. Yeah. Violent crime only increases when poverty increases. That's the only time crime increases, when there's more and more of the population poor.
They're referring to like sex crimes as well, and I don't think that more rapes are committed because of that, or like, I don't think that it is. I think it's like
it's like prostitution, there's a lot of people out there who cannot, believe it or not, when I was 16, a girl only had to look at me and I went bright red with embarrassment. I could not talk to girls, So, and there's a lot of people out there who are very awkward with girls. There's a lot of people out there who might have disfigurements or disabilities that doesn't allow them to get sex quite easily. So prostitutes, legalized ones, should be there for people. That is how to, it's not this sort of underworld sort of thing that it's made out to be.
I don't know what it's like in the UK, but in Australia, before, like, the good thing about sex work is that you can control like the spread of STDs. So they put like condom, like they provide condom, like brothels and stuff, legal places. They have to provide condoms. They have to teach the girls about like safety and like STD checks and all that stuff. And so basically, like, the difference between prostitution actually means that you solicit from the street. but sex work is actually the legal term. So the difference between prostitution and sex work is that there's less STDs going around. There's less of sex happening outside, maybe in front of like other people or like in front of children or something. Not like they usually do it at nighttime, but still the brothels keep it like in private. They got the prostitutes off the street. They provided like a safe place, so the girls are actually safer, the guys are safer, there's less STDs. The thing is that if you're like, I don't want to ever sleep with a prostitute and I don't want to do that and I don't care, like legal sex work actually works in your favor, because you're less likely to catch an STD and you're less likely to come across two people having sex in the street. So I'm all for it. Like, it's just such a better thing to control it.
I mean, see, the thing is as well, it's like the drugs industry in this country, the illegal drugs industry. The only reason people are dying from using drugs is because they're illegal and they're not regulated.
Yeah.
If the government regulated drugs, I mean, we've got the worst drug in the world out there, alcohol.
If we regulate, it's almost like condoning it, though.
Well, what's wrong with somebody going out getting stoned? What's wrong with somebody going out getting high? People go out.
Sorry, I was thinking you meant like hard drugs.
Well, even hard drugs. I mean, I know people who've used heroin for 40, 50 years of their life and are in top grade jobs. I used to knock about with a drug dealer who sold cocaine to the chief officer of Manchester Fire Service. He used to come to his flat, I've heard that lawyers are on cocaine a lot because of their hours. Yeah, I mean, so alcohol is the worst one. Alcohol is a depressant. Yeah. Alcohol you can get anywhere, Alcohol causes fights. Alcohol causes misery. Alcohol, and that's legal, So
yeah, but I think drugs can bring out like mental illnesses and stuff.
Dairy Furry, objectifying women is something we have been fighting against forever. Porn is creating a bizarre world where young men don't understand what sex is and women have insane ideas of what they should accept.
That's the thing, like, it's like, I don't think that comes from, like, porn doesn't create that. It's the mindset. It's people going, ladies have to, it's like putting a woman down for sleeping around. Now that creates a mindset. Saying, like, not allowing a woman to breastfeed in public, that is objectifying a woman, because you're saying, like, no, you're sexualizing a perfectly non-sexual act. Like, I don't have an issue if someone's like, yeah, seeing like a woman breastfeed turns me on. It's like, that's fine, whatever. But don't stop someone from doing something, right, and making it super inconvenient because you find it sexual or someone else finds it sexual and you don't think it's now appropriate. It's like, no, you sexualized it. It's your fucking fuck up. Like, go, like, you know what I mean? A lot of people like, oh, it's gross. And I was like, so's your face, but you don't see me complaining when I put a bag over your face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm pro breast milk, but I don't want to be anti-formula, even though I kind of really hate people who like use formula when they could breastfeed, like when they can breastfeed. But I don't want to be like anti-formula. I'd rather be pro breast milk, because when I see formula, what bothers me most is why they're having formula. It's like, is it because, you feel pressured, like, but to not breastfeed? Because some women do, like, they want to bottle feed. It's like being vegan. They feel the pressure to bottle feed because breastfeeding is is in some way, in some places,
yeah.
So, and it's like, it shouldn't be. Like, it really shouldn't. And then some people are like, oh, it's fine to breastfeed. It's just as long as that you cover them up, like with a blanket. And I'm like, Why? Like, okay, when a baby's breastfeeding on the tit, all you can see is the top half of the tit. I walk around with fucking low cut tops all the time with fucking push up bras that push up my boobs that make them look like breast implants, and I walk around like that, and no one fucking says, oh, you should have a blanket over those. Like, no one's ever fucking said that. So like, I swear to God, I'm gonna be the worst mum to come across. Like, I'm just gonna have half my tit hanging out. No, my whole tit hanging out. I'm just gonna have my baby like just sucking on like this. And they're gonna be like, you're gonna put a blanket over that? And I'm like, you're gonna put a blanket over your fucking face? And then I'll be like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna brush up on the law so I know like what they can legally do. And I'm like, what are you gonna do about it?
Oh my God. Probably nothing. I mean,
not in Australia, I don't think. But in America, I think they have the right to refuse, like, to anyone. I've actually heard that in America, they refuse to serve homeless people even when they have money. Like, that's sad. I'm like, dude, you're fucking killing someone, literally. If you're not serving food to them, you're killing them. Like, you're an a-hole, like, seriously. But I think that should be illegal. I think that they should hand out fines. If they don't serve someone that actually has money, they should get fined, and not making a nuisance. Shake my head. Have you not aware that young women think a null is normal? A null? What's a null? Something they should accept. You guys are clueless because you probably grew up with internet and porn as in the norm.
I think what Dairy Fairy is referring to is this porn thing, objectifying women. I don't know whether Dairy Fairy is a he or a she, but
I don't know. Like, the man is just as objectified as the woman here.
A man's objectified. A man is. I mean, these porn movies, the men go on for ages. When in reality, it's like. I mean, I'm proud now. I can do it twice in 5 minutes. I'm right on ball there now. Yeah, I'm trying to get up to 3 times in 5. But yeah, of course it objectifies men. But everybody's a willing participant.
Yeah.
I objectifying women to me, right? This is what my version of objectifying women is putting someone on Instagram or someone in magazines who's built like a fucking stick insect. And that's what everyone's expectation of a normal woman is. Walking around in this high fashion stuff with all these labels, that's objectifying women. That's unrealistic goals for women to aspire to, you know?
Well, I think that objectifying women, like, I mean, although you make a good point, but I don't think that's objectifying women. I think that's just creating unrealistic expectations.
But I mean,
objectifying is when you don't think of them as a person. So like my most hated fucking expression, and I've been told this my whole life, and I'm waiting for someone to tell me this expression again so I can just fucking like kill them, like with my voice. So basically, I hate when they say like, objectifying women is when they say, like, when maybe a girl is upset that
I just saw you potty then,
and then he doesn't like her anymore or something, and the guy says, well, if or anyone, well, why would you buy the cow if you're giving away the milk for free? So for me, this is really offensive to women because it means it's telling women that the only value that they have is the ability that they can have sex with men. It really is, because it's like saying, why would a man want to date you if you're giving them sex already? It's like saying, what else do you have of worth? That's all you have of worth. So why would they want to date you if you're giving away this for free? It's like saying, this is your value. Your ability to have sex with men is your only value. And as soon as you don't give it away for free, because then you won't be worth anything. You'll be worthless because you've given it away for free. And that is fucking bullshit. That is bullshit. And when they say, and as well, they do it to men too, when they say, oh, men only want one thing, that's fucking bullshit too. And you know what? That actually works against women as well, because it works against women because it drives us fucking crazy. to think that men only want sex, but that's not true. Why would they be in, like, why do men get married and be in relationships if they only wanted sex? Men are not getting a distorted reality from watching porn. The expectations from young women are twisted and wrong. I don't know. Like, I try things that I see in porn. I'm like, oh, I want to try that, and I do. And then I'm like, that was shit. And then I just don't do it anymore. Like, it's just an idea. Like, honestly, I just, for me, I don't know. Like, for me, sometimes I watch porn and I think it looks really fake. And so I don't really feel like, I feel like real sex is better, but like, I don't know. I don't find that it affects my sex life. I don't feel like
yeah, I mean, what do most people use porn for?
just
Do you want a 5-minute relief? Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's it, you know. When people use sex slaves imported from another country to produce these porn films, yes, that's wrong. You know,
it's different as long as they're consenting.
Consenting adults having sex in front of a camera to make a bit of dosh or whatever, I don't really see the problem with it. Let's have a look. How do men in porn last 2 hours? It's amazing what happens when the director yells cut and they switch. Yeah. It's
honestly, like, the whole point of like going through, like, you know, going for like an hour or something. Okay, first of all, I never pay for my porn, so it's always like the short clip. So then it's never an hour for me. But like, the thing is that if like they watch, I don't know, like every porn scene you watch is different. And when you start having sex for real, every experience with different people, even different times and stuff with even the same person but different times, they're always different. Like, having sex is like, you learn stuff regardless of what expectation you had before.
Of course.
It's all just a learning curve. It's all just a learning curve of like different like experiences that you have.
I'd like to answer this one. There are many porn addicts where it is taking over their lives. Love vegan gays, for example. That is not normal. That is a clear case of right. Okay. So, right. There's many destructive things in the world that destroy people's lives. Right. People get obsessive and compulsive about cleaning and washing hands. Yeah. There's obsessive people get hung up on beer. There's always exceptions. There's always going to be somebody.
What it is, I'll just tell you, is how an addiction is made, like especially one where it's alcohol, where it's one with porn or something. The thing is that when you masturbate and you come, you actually raise the chemicals, the good feels chemicals in your mind, the dopamine and stuff like that. And that you go, oh, that makes me feel better because you're depressed. I always find, this is very personal, but I actually find that when I'm depressed or when I'm a bit down, I do masturbate a lot more. And that's the reason why, because I know I'm going to get a dopamine hit, right? So the thing is that if I didn't get a dopamine hit from porn, I would masturbating or coming, I would get a dopamine hit from something else. I would go and buy a chocolate bar. I would go and buy, like some people are shopaholics. Should we get rid of shops? No, we can't buy anything. No consumerism, because people get addicted because they get that dopamine hit. We can't get rid of, like, the thing is that we'd all just be like, you got to cure the sickness, okay, not the outlet. Like, yes, it depends. Like, if drugs is an outlet, yes, you've got to create like rehab centers for that. But most people, when using it in moderation, it's really good. Just like TV shows or like gaming or something. It's
exactly. Yeah. I mean, gamers get addicted to. I've been addicted to games. Back in the day, I was playing World of Warcraft, and it was like such a time. You played it; it's such a time-consuming. And my wife would be in the kitchen there, and she'd be like, "Your tea's ready." I'm like, "I've only just got a fucking crew together now. We're going doing this dungeon." She's like, "What are you talking about? You're like, you're 40-odd-year-old. You're 40-odd-year-old. What are you talking about?" I said,
"That's just like." between live, like, is in on the internet, and like games that you can pause, because at least with games you can pause, you can go and you can go and do like other things, like you can go and have dinner, or you can whatever. But then when you're doing it live, yeah, I think that it's more fun, but like it creates a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. So what does your activism look like? Let's get back on track now. We've diverted.
Oh, yeah, we've been going on and on about porn.
Well, no, I don't care. I'll talk about anything. Me, I don't give a flying fuck what we talk about.
Me too.
But let's talk about activism. First of all, I want to mention
nonsense.
I just want to mention Tofu Tommy Kelly is just like come out that his cholesterol is mega high, his triglycerides are high, and he left a comment on my video that I did about him, my little snidey video, that it's because he ate something, he had to go to hospital, and he's come out with this absolute bullshit reason why his cholesterol's high. And it's like, no, Tommy, your cholesterol doesn't go high sort of like because you've ate a certain food the morning before or whatever. That is a long-term thing over months and months and months. So race leader, let Tommy fade away. Yes, this is going to be the last time I'm ever going to mention him unless he comes out with something else completely stupid, and then I feel like I'm obligated to. But what does your activism look like?
Okay. So basically, I used to do street activism, and I've done a few different types, like vigils and a few different types, but I've always like loved performing, and I've always loved being like the center of attention. And that's why I decided to start up a YouTube channel. I already started, like, I kind of did some YouTube like ages ago with like some nail art and stuff. And I thought, I'm going to create like a vegan YouTube channel. And so I did, oh, that was my cat. I'm
going to say then, whoa.
Yeah, that was my cat. She just landed on my bed. So basically, I started with that, and I just got comfortable with that because I feel like I was born to be like an entertainer of some kind. And I really, like, a lot of people get like stage fright and they hate, like, you know, people watching them, but I'm the opposite. Like, I love it. And I just feel like that's the best way for me to go about activism is through that. But I still do a little bit activism, other types, but it's just COVID, you know, I haven't really been able to get out. But yeah, outreach has never really been my thing. And obviously, like for me, like I just get so angry, like arguing like with meat eaters and stuff. And I know vegan gays, not gains, but gays, she always goes on like, she goes on a rant, and then like, and she just like constantly argues with people. And I'm like, I can't do that. It would just drive me insane. I just feel like bashing my head against the wall. Like, yeah,
but you do really well though. I mean, we've talked for 1 hour 27 minutes now, and you're really good at talking and getting your point across. So I think you'd be absolutely brilliant at it, you know. So
but talk about veganism, I don't know. Like when I talk about feminism, I'm really good, which is why I've started up a second channel. I started up a second channel to just do the more serious side of veganism. And
what's it called?
Feminist? Emily Walsh.
Emily Walsh.
I'll have to link it, but I don't have any videos at the moment. I've been flat out with my main channel, flat out with Patreon, flat out with fucking Instagram and TikTok, and there's so many fucking things.
Yeah, that's why I've tried TikTok, and I'm pushing that to one side. Yeah. I need to. I've got real life things to do. You know, I've got my job, my acting career to sort of juggle, and.
The first 4 videos of mine, it was all vegan videos. One of them was like environment and stuff. But me and my friend, we came up with this idea about like the Austin Powers thing where I do a cooking show, but I hide because originally we thought that we couldn't show that on YouTube. And I thought that's a really good idea. And so I did that. And then even though I knew that I could show my nude body, like I could show everything, I'm like, well, what's the point of that? Like, there's no entertainment in that. That's just a naked person cooking then, you know what I mean? The entertainment is that it's interesting with things that cover my boobs. And I you know, unlike other YouTube channels, vegan YouTube channels, I've got I don't have a big vegan audience. I have a big meat eater audience.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
what we're striving for.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that I use my other channel to do more vegan related content because that gets to meet it as well, especially people. I want to aim some videos towards like newbie vegans, so like when they're just starting out, especially for me, because YouTube really helped me. Like I used to just watch anything vegan related on YouTube. Yeah, that's why I can't do multiple social media sites. If I try to check more than YouTube or Twitter regularly, my head blows up. Oh my God, you would go insane. Like I literally get messages. I respond to all my messages like almost instantly. And the thing is that I'm getting more and more popular and it's getting harder and harder to keep up actually.
Cooking with Venom. Hello. Great channel.
Hey.
Oh, Cooking with Venom does animations as well.
Really?
Yes. Cooking with Venom. Emily would really like to hook up with you.
I have Instagram, so you can chat to me on there because literally I will respond to pretty much everyone. But the people that I don't respond to is ones where they just say hey, or they're like, hey, how are you? I don't even bother because so many times when I would respond to those types of people, not all the time, but half the time, I would get a dick pic. So I try not to respond to those types of, I try not to respond to people. So if you want to contact me, if you want to actually get a response, you have to say like a paragraph or something. Like you have to actually ask or say some kind of statement that is not, hi, how are you? You have to be a little bit more creative.
Put your favorite position on there. And that'll get a response from her.
No, if you say anything sexual, I won't respond to it because I think, no, I'm gonna get a dick pic. No, seriously, you know what? I get so many sex stuff. All I do is I screenshot it, I decline. So I don't block them because I lose them as a follower. So I decline after I screenshot, then I upload it to my story for everybody to read and laugh at.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, because as well, Michelle, I don't know whether you're aware that on Instagram, if you put a post on Instagram, you can instantly put the same post up on Facebook and Twitter at the same time. You just put a couple of sliders across. So that can save you a bit of time as well.
Twitter as well?
Yeah,
I only got Twitter and I haven't learned how to do it.
Well, just forget Twitter. Just build an account on Twitter. You don't have to do anything. Make the account. Then once you link it up with Instagram, you can then, as soon as you put a story. Sorry?
How do I link it up? I've got a Twitter actually.
It's all there.
I don't really use it, huh?
You just Google it. Just Google it. How do I link up? And usually, all you have to do is put in your account and your password. And then what I do, as soon as I hit a story or a post, it goes straight into Facebook and straight onto Twitter at the same time. So it's perfect. And it saves you messing about because I don't really go on Facebook anymore. I'm not on it that often, even though I've got 4,500 people on there, nearly up to my max. It's like I just don't engage with it anymore because it's too bullshit.
Which social media account?
Sorry?
Which social media account?
What do you mean?
Sorry, which you have 6,000 on where?
On Facebook.
Oh, wow. You're doing better than me.
But I've been on it for years. Remember, I've changed sort of. I've gone from photographer, so I've got a lot of people on through my photography, and then I went as an actor and got loads of actor friends on directors, and it's sort of evolved over the years. I've been on Facebook a really long time, so it's evolved, and now it's I don't even bother with it anymore. It's just it's just a nonsense now. Facebook, I really have fallen out with it. Yeah, I'm only keeping it going now is because it's got the track of my life for the last 10 years.
Yeah. Actually, I will like to say, just on here, I don't know if how many small vegan YouTubers are watching, but me and Effie, he's another vegan YouTuber, is very small, but me and Effie have decided to start up a vegan YouTuber group called it's called Vegan content creators, vegan content creators. Okay, we're going to start up a Discord page and a Facebook page really soon. And it's basically for any vegan YouTuber to come join. And that way we can just help each other out. So it's like about giving advice like to everyone and to help each other out, maybe do some collabs if they want to, but just basically to support one another so that we can basically take over YouTube and basically like be like really big. We can share that
sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
You'll have to send me a link for that. You'll have to send me a link.
So message me. So what I'll say to everyone is message my Instagram if you have a YouTube video. I don't care if you only have like one video or whatever, but if you have a vegan YouTube account, or if it's a Facebook one as well, because it's any content creator, message me on Instagram. And as soon as we've created the groups, we'll add you to that, or we send you the links, whatever.
GVG, I've been following multiple photographers for over a decade. How did I miss you? You missed the best. I was the best. I was a street photographer, actually, and I was an urbexer as well. I loved climbing into old buildings and finding old places to creep around. And, I really enjoyed it. But I sold all my gear to follow my acting career. Right, well, listen. We'll start winding it up now because it's very late for you.
And my computer's on 14%.
Oh my God! So it's going to drop off. Any last questions for Emily while we're just wrapping it up? Let's have a look through some of these. Hi, Helen. Hi, Race. DJ Cat. Hi. Who else has popped up? Any more questions? It looks like we've exhausted everybody. Everybody's exhausted.
You're brilliant. Keep it up. Thank you. I'm Easy Vegan. Wow, I didn't know that Instagram on PC has less options.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, you can't. The only thing I do on Instagram on PC is upload some of my YouTube videos as an IGTV. That's the only thing I can really do. Right. Well, listen, we'll call it a day. Thank you.
DJ Cat asked how the lockdown is for Melbourne, but I'm actually in Sydney and the lockdown is pretty good. Like, we're not locked down. Melbourne is, I think they're like getting better, but Sydney is really good. We're not in lockdown.
Livestream nipple challenge. Right. Okay.
What's a nipple challenge?
I don't know. Mine is sore after doing a 12K run the other day. One of my plasters fell off my nipple and I had jogger's nipple on one side. It was awful.
Plasters?
Yeah. Yeah, like a Band-Aid.
I get chafing as well, and I get really sensitive nipples, which is another reason why I love being naked. Sometimes I'll just walk around naked, like topless, because my like nipples are inflamed and I just walk around like, oh.
Do you guys think it's okay to post screenshots of people I debate with in my Instagram story? You can do what you want, whether they'll appreciate it or not.
I think that, like, see, for me, if they say something disgusting, then yeah, I think it's like free that. But you just got to think whether it would be okay if someone did that for you. Did that to you. If it's a private chat, I like to keep it private, but you can just get rid of their identity. So a lot of people scratch out their identities and then upload it.
Yeah, because I mean, I suppose feminism, we're talking about walking around topless. I suppose feminism comes into that because men can walk around topless. Why can't women? Isn't that weird? That's just like, I hate the runner's nipple. Yeah, it really, really smarts. Yeah. Oh, by the way, before we do go, if anybody wants any nice T-shirts like this, go to Defender of Animals. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got an Instagram page. He's got some great T-shirts. I don't make any money off the T-shirts. All his profits go to animal sanctuaries. So please, if you're thinking about buying any sort of T-shirts with messages on to do a bit of activism, just walking around, you can be active, get one of these. Right. Well, listen, Emily, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great chat.
Thanks so much for having me on. It's been really awesome.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I look forward to looking at this new group that you started, and we'll call it a day. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody who joined. Any last words, Emily?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, because I'm starting up my second channel, and I know it's hard because it's going to be like hardly any views, but I'd really appreciate if you or someone else who has a YouTube channel would like to do a collab video with me, just to like bring up, like get some content out on my second channel. That would be really awesome. It's
Yeah,
just
sure.
like I literally have like 1 subscriber at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I mean, UK Vegan Family here, Michelle Lowe,
Great.
Anti-Vegan Nonsense likes doing collabs. There's loads of us who are willing to do collabs. So yeah, you think of something and give me a shout. Brilliant.
Great. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.